Hello and welcome back. So, today we're tackling a topic that causes immense anxiety, especially for women in their major dating years: commitment. Specifically, how do you know if the man you're with is truly serious? Or if you're stuck in a comfortable, convenient situation that is ultimately wasting your time? Now, if you're watching this, you're likely past the casual dating phase. You've invested time, you feel a real connection, and you're ready to see this relationship move forward, whether that means moving in, getting engaged, or simply having a clear, defined future together. But you're sensing a hesitation, maybe an avoidance, or a sudden change of subject whenever the future comes up. So let's unpack this. It's crucial to understand that commitment isn't just a word. It's a series of actions and behaviors that demonstrate future-mindedness. First, we need to look beyond the words. Because talking is easy. A man can say, "Of course, I see a future with you," while his actions tell a very different story. We need to focus on what I call the 3 pillars of commitment action. Pillar 1, integration. A truly committed man integrates you into his real life. This is the first crucial test. So, are you meeting his important people? Not just a random acquaintance at a bar, but his parents, his best friend from childhood, his siblings, the people who will be in his life permanently. If you are kept isolated, if your interactions are always private and separate from his core world, that is a massive red flag. Commitment means making space for you in his established, deeply meaningful social structure. Then, are you integrated into his future planning? Does he talk about booking a trip 3 months from now? Does he mention you when discussing his career moves? Does he say, "We should look at apartments next year," or "when we get a dog"? These are subtle, verbal confirmations that he sees you as a permanent feature on his timeline. If every plan he makes sounds like it can be easily adjusted or canceled without impact, he is living in a short-term reality, and you are not securely placed in it. Pillar 2, sacrifice and prioritization. Commitment requires the willingness to sacrifice individual convenience for the benefit of the partnership. Think about it. Does he prioritize your needs and comfort even when it's slightly inconvenient for him? This isn't about grand gestures. It's about the small things. Does he adjust his schedule when you need him? Does he show up when you're sick, even if he had other plans? We all know the relationship dynamic where the man fits the woman around his established life, his hobbies, his friends, his schedule. But a committed relationship means that when a conflict arises between his plan and your need, he sees the relationship as the highest priority, and he is willing to negotiate or even sacrifice his preference. If he consistently puts his pre-existing commitments, his personal time, his games, his routine, above significant moments with you, his commitment is shallow. Pillar 3, emotional investment and vulnerability. This is the deepest pillar. Commitment means being emotionally all in. Is he willing to be truly vulnerable? Does he share his fears, his insecurities, his past mistakes, and his hopes without reservation? When a man sees you as temporary, he will put up emotional walls. He won't share the deep stuff because he doesn't want you to have that level of influence or knowledge of him when you inevitably leave. But when he is committed, he views you as a safe harbor. He is willing to show you the ugly parts because he trusts you with his whole self. If your conversations are always on the surface, focused on work, jokes, or light topics, and you can't get him to engage in deeper emotional honesty, then he is holding a significant part of himself back. And that means he is holding commitment back. So, if you look at these 3 pillars and you realize you are seeing a lot of red flags, you need to move to the final step, the clarity conversation. This conversation should not be an ultimatum, but it must be an honest declaration of your personal timeline and needs. You should approach it calmly, maybe over a neutral dinner, and start by expressing your genuine feelings and needs. Again, using those I statements. You might say, "So, I feel like we've reached a point where I need to know we're on the same page about the future. I love our relationship, but I am at a point in my life where I need to be moving toward marriage and building a family in the next, say, 2 years. I need to know if this is something you genuinely see for us, or if your path is fundamentally different right now." Then, and this is the hardest part, you need to be quiet and listen. If his response is vague, if it's full of "we'll see," or "when the time is right," or "I'm just not there yet," you have your answer. "I'm just not there yet" often means "I'm not there yet with you for that next step," or "I'm enjoying the benefits without the responsibility." You have to respect that answer. And then you have to respect yourself enough to ask the tough question, "Can I accept this indefinitely?" Commitment isn't something you can trick someone into. It comes when a man sees your life as so valuable and so enriching that he fears the loss of you more than he fears the permanence of commitment. Your job is to live that vibrant, integrated life so fully that he naturally wants to commit to it, and to have the courage to walk away if he consistently proves, through his actions, that he won't. Remember, clarity is kindness. It is kinder to yourself to know the truth now than to spend years hoping a vague promise will solidify. Let me know in the comments below which of the 3 pillars of commitment you struggle with most in your relationships. I read every comment,